morning. Welcome to Catex TV. Today is Friday, March 27th, 2015. My name is Matt Bernat, filling in for Frank Fortunato, who is off this week. As always, you can follow more news updates on our Twitter account at Catex TV. International agreements limit airline liability to about $157,400 United States dollars per passenger killed, but legal experts say that this could be exceeded in the GermanWings case. Lufthansa subsidiary GermanWings could face liabilities well above the typical ceiling in airline crashes for the passengers who died on Tuesday when one of its jets was flown into an alpine mountain, some aviation lawyers said. A lot will depend on whether or not the airline can defend itself against negligence claims, given that prosecutors said on Thursday morning that a young German co-pilot locked himself alone in the cockpit of an Airbus A320 and set it on course to crash, killing all 144 passengers and 6 crew members. An international agreement generally limits liability for each passenger who dies in a crash if families do not sue, but if families want to pursue compensation for greater damages, they can file lawsuits. Lawyers have represented families in the past for airline disasters told Reuters on Thursday that potential lawsuits can focus on whether GermanWings properly screened the co-pilot before and during his employment, and on whether the airline should have had a policy requiring 2 or more people in the cockpit at all times during a flight. Justin Green, a partner at the law firm of Krienler & Krienler in New York, said passengers' families would be justified in asking why Andreas Lubitz, the 28-year-old co-pilot, was allowed to be alone in the cockpit. Pilots may temporarily leave the cockpit at certain times and in certain circumstances, such as while the aircraft is cruising, according to German aviation law. However, even if the practice was allowed, this has been a known risk, Green said. He noted that some investigators believe that pilots intentionally downed a Silk Air aircraft in 1997 and Egypt Air aircraft in 1999. A powerful explosion in Lower Manhattan on Thursday caused 2 buildings to collapse and ignited a large fire that spread to neighboring buildings, leaving at least 19 people injured. At least 1 person was reported missing. As the fire raged in the East Village neighborhood, there were desperate attempts to flee, with residents jumping from fire escapes and dramatic rescues, with one man climbing through the smoke to look for people who might have been stranded and others pulling a woman to safety. The blaze was so intense that firefighters at one point had to withdraw from the buildings and engage in what one official called a defensive outside attack, pumping a deluge of water onto the structures. New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio, during a news conference at the scene, said preliminary evidence suggests a gas-related explosion was caused by plumbing and gas work being done at 121 2nd Avenue near 7th Street. The explosion and ensuing fire destroyed that building and led to the collapse of an adjacent building, 123 2nd Avenue. For hours after the explosion, the fires burned, and 2 other buildings, 119 and 125 2nd Avenue, were damaged. One of them, 119, was still in danger of collapse, officials said on Thursday. More than 250 firefighters responded to what became a 7-alarm fire. Among the 19 people reported injured, 4 were critically injured, 4 were firefighters who were taken to hospitals for treatment of minor injuries, and 3 others, including 1 emergency medical worker, declined medical attention at the scene, according to the New York Fire Department. Mexico's Colima volcano gave quite a show this week, erupting 2 times. It's one of the most active volcanoes in Central America and has high potential for danger due to its high level of activity. Although Colima has erupted quite frequently this year, no lives or property are reported in danger at this time. A shallow magnitude 3.0 earthquake was reported Thursday morning, 16 miles from Dana Point, California, the United States Geological Survey said. The tremor occurred at 11:09 a.m. Pacific time on Thursday. According to the USGS, the epicenter was 17 miles from San Clemente, 19 miles from San Juan Capistrano, and 20 miles from Laguna Niguel. In the last 10 days, there have been no earthquakes of magnitude 3.0 or greater centered nearby. That's the news today. Thank you for watching. If we have any important breaking news, you'll see it on our Twitter account at Catex TV. Have a nice weekend, and we will see you tomorrow.